To wait one more day and not share my testimony would be not good. To hold out another day, another moment, and not share my journey wouldn't be right. My name is Nicole, or Always Faithful Nicole. My journey of faith, my Leap of Faith podcast, so many things had to happen for me to get to this moment right now. Couple months, I'll be 54. And as I'm getting older, I ask myself, what does my life mean? What do I want to share? And it's important that I share my testimonies, my leap of faith, my walk of faith. How did I become Always Faithful Nicole? Have I always been her, right? For others, for you listening right now. To be inspired, to be encouraged, to be uplifted. And, you know, having my first child, my first son, at 26, and the journey of that, a young mom, single mom, right? Single parent, whatever, that led me down a road like it does a lot of parents, right? I lived with my grandparents for a little while, trying to find a place to stay. Riding the bus every day, to and from where I had to go, up and down Van Dyke, Lafayette rather. And I went past this place where these townhouses were. From the outside looking in, it looked beautiful. I kept seeing this sign that said Walter and May Ruther. One day I finally called or whatever, started the process to actually moving in. Just that story in and of itself of getting the money to move in, down to the second of what I needed to move in, that's a whole nother testimony. So anyway, I moved in. What ended up being the 13-year ride of my life. Up, down, good, bad, growth, all of it. Again, that's how I grew my faith. Turned out to be the Martin Luther King Home of Projects. I had no clue. When I first moved in, I was working. Worked for the government, for Social Security. Then I transitioned to temp work with General Motors in the Renaissance on the executive floor. 9/11 happened, so that turned my life into a whirlwind. Lost my job. Walking down the street, I remember still on Jefferson with my stuff, and going home. Because I didn't have a job. I had to move from the market rate apartments, the quietness, no one knowing me, at least I didn't think they did, to the subsidized housing, which was only one lot over, from lot 3 to like lot 1 or 2 or something like that. And that began my journey of a different way in the King Homes. The faith it took, the prayers, the good times I had, the people I met. I lived around and growing and stuff, and raising my first son there because basically it was, what, 2 when I moved in, I guess. My mom moving in with me at some point, being there years later. That's another story. The journey of that life. I had my second child, my second beautiful son, Dionycus, when I was 36 or so. And I think that's when the desire to make sure that we moved was lit, so that it didn't become a generational thing, right? No shade to nobody, but I know what I needed to do. So, 2010, I visited West Palm Beach, Florida for the summer. And when I came home, there was a voice, God's voice. Go to Tampa, go to Tampa. And for 2 years, I prepared myself and my family. Finally, September 2012, I moved to Tampa, Florida. We had a 2002, 4 Windstar van. Filled it up. Told my friends I was leaving. My best friend Nicole gave me a cooler of food with an awesome pound cake. Prayed with me and sent me on my way. It was my mom, my boys, and my young ones, my youngest child, his father. That's another story. And off we went. 4 o'clock in the morning on the road. And we made it to Tampa. It's a whole nother story of being on the road, too. Of faith. With a capital F. F-A-I-T-H. We made it to Tampa. It was nighttime when we finally made it, of traveling on the road. We found somewhere to be, like being homeless, basically. That's another story. Went through the steps to get employed. Got here like, what was it, like October. Got a job a couple months later with the company that had only been around a year. That's another story. That's where we speak about timing and listening to God when He tells you to do something. Too early, which is why I know why it wasn't 2011, why it took 2 years, because the company had just came about. Or if I didn't listen, when they were looking for people, I wouldn't have got that interview. Got the interview. It was the last interview of the day that I had a couple of interviews that day. I had hit my breaking point the day before, like many of us do, crying with the teacher at work. Was it WorkNet? WorkNet, I think it's called here in Florida. On a Thursday, he said, "Nicole, your breakthrough is coming. You'll see." Well, I got the call for the interview the next day. To go next day. Went for the interview. Before I went, I prayed at the transitional housing we were living in called Touched by an Angel. That's another story. Went for that interview, got that job. Because of the nature of the job, it was events that they did. Every 90 days, I traveled for the next 5 years. Seattle, North Carolina, Costa Rica twice. That's another testimony. Costa Rica. Colorado. Las Vegas, just to name a few places. Chicago was the first event. Um, that one we actually, me and another employee drove from Florida, the van. They had all the stuff in it, some of the stuff we needed for the event that they rented from Florida to Chicago. 2 weeks away from my family. I had never been away from my family. That's another testimony. Before I left, I was at church at Northside Baptist Church. And I remember being in the little room and the guy prayed and he said, Nicole, it's going to be okay. You go do what you need to do. We got you here. That's another testimony. The point of this video is I got 4 years of podcasts. I've written a book, Gratitude and Inspiration, about real life testimonies of telling people how it really does work out. And I've got so much more to say, so much more to share. My whole goal is to uplift, inspire, encourage, motivate others, you. Most importantly, to grow your faith in God or lead you to God. I am only here by the grace of God. Everything I do, say, whatever it may be, to God be the glory, right? So, we'll call this my intro video. We'll call this just a little piece of what I have to share, what I would like to share, what I will share with you to hopefully encourage you, to inspire you, and to remind you that you're amazing. Don't let nobody make you feel less than. Let no one steal your shine. Let no one just take away who you are. Right? Life is long if you're blessed for it to be that way. Sometimes it seems like you can't see how long it is or where you'll be. But it's important that I share and I let the world know how good God is. God is good. All the things I've been through, good, bad, up, down, whatever it is, God has always guided me. When I look back on different posts and different words and different things I've said, it's always been me and God, or God and me, right? So, whatever you're doing, whatever age you are, you can do it. You can make the change. You can start something. I was 40 years old when I decided to leave Detroit. 40. And while I had a lot of work history and things like that from being in the office and executive assistant, stuff like that, I still had to re-acclimate myself when I got to Florida, because I had lived in the projects and there was a lot of work I hadn't done for a while. So I had to get that done. You can do it. You can do it. Let nothing and no one make you think different. Right? I'll share more. I'll make more videos. I will dissect the things that I've said to give you context and to explain my faith. Explain what leap of faith means to me. Why that's the name of my podcast. By sharing the testimonies that I have. I thank you for listening today. I thank you for maybe sharing this with someone who needs to hear this, see this, right? So, God bless you, beautiful. And this is just the beginning of the next step of me sharing my journey with you. As always, faithful Nicole, God bless you.